Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. Just wanted to welcome you to today's Cloud Service Management webcast. Today we have Prasanna with Product Management, and Prasanna is going to be going over the Firefly release that's coming out in October, I believe. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to you, Prasanna.
Thank you, Chris. Thanks for the warm welcome. Welcome everybody to the webcast. This is a series of our webcast for the product Cloud Service Management. Usually we were doing it 2 webcasts in a quarter to update everybody that what is coming in the next release before the development starts working on that, and then later during the completion of that sprint or the quarter. So we would usually have one more with completing all the features which are planned, and then we would demonstrate those features. So this time what we're doing is like one webcast. This is the one webcast for this particular release, which is almost in completion state. So we almost have the required features or the planned features are built in, and then we are just doing the QA and defect fixing in the final sprint, which is planned in this month, this week, 2 weeks of sprint. So this time we have consolidated the 2 and then showing the release overview of the features incorporated in the Firefly release, and also the demonstration of those features are planned in this webcast. So my name is Prasanna. I'm part of the product management team. We'll go through the presentation that would cover the overview of the Firefly release, and also followed by the demonstration of the features which are planned or incorporated in this particular release. So in between, if you have any questions, so we have a Q&A section, so you can type in. I will be able to respond, and then we can start getting the responses and the demonstration to the for the Firefly release. To start with, so this is a disclaimer which we need to show, because we would probably talk through some of the roadmap items or some of the strategical items. So the disclaimer clearly mentions as of today what we are aware. We are just mentioning that in case there might be some chances of some of the features which would not get incorporated. So that's just a disclaimer for the legal purpose. So coming back to the target release cadence, I think we were doing regularly quarterly releases. I think we did it in November, mid-November, Clover, and then mid-February, Dragonfly. So after that, we seemed to have a problem during May, June timeframe. Basically mid-May, we had a lot of issues related to performance and other stuff. So we actually tend to skip that particular month and then start reiterating the releases, and then probably realigning the releases to the nearest quarter. So that's the reason we had that in the July we released the Elephant. I think in all the environments it's up and running. So Elephant release really gave us some good bandwidth from the performance point of view. So like earlier in May, we had a lot of performance issues related to SLA, and then we did alter some of the SLA configuration and then job trigger configurations. So all because of the DB utilization, because we were doing it only on one single database and not utilizing the secondary database. So in Elephant, we did that rollout of using the availability group in the CQL 2014. So we got the advantage of having dual system, so sharing the load between the 2 nodes. So with that, we were able to get to the list of items. So that gave us a better bandwidth. I think you also saw that it was stabilized to a great extent in the later dates. So after that, I think we were probably better in the horizontal scaling perspective. So I think in Firefly we concentrated on so what other areas for improving the performance of the system. So we are targeting those in the Firefly release and then in the future Goldfish release also. So I think we are coming back to the release cadence in the regular quarterly cadence perspective. So rollout staging, approximately we are keeping it to 10 days to 14 days in advance before production so that customers can test it in the staging, and then in case of any issues or something which we can fix it before the production release. So that's the idea of having the staging rollout prior to the production rollout. And then you might be surprised with the release names. So I think we do have release name symbols in the alphabetical order, and then go with the lucky symbols. Might be lucky symbol for different region or different country. So we followed that in the naming of our release names. So I think what we are addressing in the Firefly is definitely improving the system performance issues. I think that's one of our main targets for the future releases of the product. So we want to improve the system performance, reduce time to resolve defects. That means by providing more information, probably by search, faster search, or by providing various other means to reduce the time for resolving the defect. That's one of our theme. You can talk on that. So third one definitely would be the improved productivity, both for end users and also for the analyst and admin. I think in the last release we had improved a couple of administrative activities, got improved in Elephant along with the other performance optimization of database and other stuff too. So here also we concentrated for the end user and analyst for the productivity improvement. And then we are also hearing the community, addressing more ideas from the community, our areas which we have covered or incorporated in the Firefly release. So what performance improvement we are doing is one thing. We have just added the archival. I think a couple of people who had started using this product from NSD 6 days, after that they would have migrated to the CSM or NSD 7 and to CSM. So their data, which are like probably since long time, their data is not archived. So that is one of the reasons for the performance issues, and then taking time for that particular slice to create a ticket or save a ticket. So what we are addressing in the Firefly main, one of the objective is to archival of ticket and its related records. So we have an option. I think we have put it up in the community to ask for the options. So by default, we are planning to have an archival of tickets older than 2 years, and then that is one of the improvement area which we are thinking, so that it would reduce the database, ticket database, and then it would definitely improve the performance of the system while doing any activity on the ticket, like saving the ticket or responding to a ticket. And then optimize the SLA engine. That is one other thing which we saw even during the May time frame, where we had a lot of performance issues. So we had a lot of issues related to SLA. So one thing we did optimize the queries so that it would improve the performance of the system, and then overall stability of the system is what we are trying to improve in this particular one. So coming back to analyst productivity, so enhance the Elasticsearch engine to support the configuration item and catalog item. So these are the other two entities which we are adding to the Elasticsearch, so which would help in doing any search-related activities faster than the existing search database-related search. So, and apart from that, we also streamline the process for viewing fields from an end-user profile and adding items from multi-page list. So this one was one of the, a lot of defects were there, a lot of enhancement requests were there on this while, for example, take an example of an administrator adding a user to the organization. So in case of user is in multiple pages, so earlier it was difficult. Whatever you would see it in one page, they would be able to select only those users in the system. So now we have added the capability of selecting multiple selection from multiple pages. So that would help in case of reporting. We have added that ticket center while relating tickets between the tickets and associating CIs or assets to the ticket. And various other places, we have this multi-select option, but not from multiple pages. So we have added that feature and as an analyst productivity improvement. One other thing which we have added is the user experience improvement. That is mainly for the end user and also for the analyst while creating a ticket. So we didn't add that option of adding an attachment while creating a ticket. So that is one thing which we have added. And from the analyst perspective, when they send out an email, for example, from the ticket, we have an option to send an email. So when you're sending an email, we didn't have that option of adding attachments from the ticket. So in case if I am sending or providing this ticket to some other group, so they need to log into the system to check what are the attachments are there. So to avoid that, in case if you are sending it to some other third-party sources or other MSP service providers, which they will not have login to our system. So we want to attach all the attachments available from the ticket to that particular case. So we can do that now with this enhancement. So we are adding send attachments with system notifications is what we are addressing in this Firefly release. So coming to the archival, more details are also available in the community site. We have put up a process for that, so link available over here. So what we are trying to do is identify ticket and its related data older than 2 years. So in case if you have created a ticket older than 2 years, but there might be some updates happening recently on that particular ticket, or the ticket is not closed. So we are not doing anything for that ticket and its related entities like other ticket communication template or communication activity, work log, SLA, notification, all those things we are not doing anything. In case if the ticket is closed and then it's older than 2 years, so those tickets and all its related data, we are moving them to the archive data. So that means from the transaction table, it will move to a non-transactional database. So with that, so your transactional data would be less, so that all the SLA action or the auto route or the process flow would behave faster than the existing mechanism. So handling of non-closed tickets and related data as exceptions, we are handling them in the code itself so that it will avoid those tickets which are not closed, which you are not looking for them to be archived. So that is getting handled in the system. So apart from that, from the performance perspective, we also did a couple of improvements on the this one. So I think we were tried this long back, coming up with the wall and board features. I'm not sure, not many would be using that, lack of other functionality associated to that, so which was unnecessarily creating a lot of load on the system. So we have come up with an option for the customers to turn off completely the board and the wall with using the configuration parameter, which would also clean up the wall database. So that would reduce the load on the system, improve the performance of the system. And one of the reasons which we didn't do that earlier was in configuration item, we were using the board history information. So we didn't have any activity history for the configuration item. We were relying on the board to provide that detail of what attribute of the CI got changed and whether CI got associated to a ticket or something like that information. So we have moved those into the activity history, and then in case if someone is turning off the board, they will not be required to worry about what will happen to my CI activity history, because I was seeing that activity history from board only. So we can switch off the board, but still you will be able to get the activity history from the configuration item. So that you would see similar to how ticket history is there, and also from the asset, you have the asset activity history. Same thing would continue for the CI activity history also. And the guardrail for job triggers is one of the things which I think during May someone has realized. I think we had a lot of issues with that, so that's the reason we are playing around with the schedules, and then SLA, we were making them some changes. So we have come up with some sort of a guardrail which will not allow one customer to impact other customers or other slices. So we are completely preventing the concurrent execution of job triggers, so that you can configure 2 jobs, but it will run only one at a time. So when one job is running, it will not try to schedule the other job. For example, in case of this SLA, if your job is running for 5 minutes, every 5 minutes the SLA job runs. So in case if it doesn't stop in 5 minutes, so earlier it used to start one more job, and then like that it was piling up the number of jobs. So now it will stop the second job to start until the first job or the previous job gets completed, and would pick it up in the next cycle. Then it would overdo the jobs from multiple issues, which would cause performance issues related to that. And also job category specific minimum frequency, like as we've seen, like a couple of slices had 1 minute frequency, which will not help to complete that particular job, and it would not complete the job and run multiple of that job. So we have started having a minimum frequency for this job, specifically auto close ticket, 15 minutes. So you won't realize, in case if you want to run it every 5 minutes, it will not help anyway. So it's 15 minutes it will check, and then unresolved tickets, if its auto close is enabled, it will go in auto close within that time frame. So those are the small things which we have done from the performance improvement perspective. I'll pause for a minute and then see any questions on this. You also have the Q&A section on the Event Center. You can post questions, so we'll be able to respond to that. Coming back to the features, so we have also enabled Elasticsearch. I think we have added 2 more entities in the search. One is the catalog item, and the other one is the configuration item. So these are the 2 entities which we added to. I think we're slowly adding more functionality to the Elasticsearch or the enhanced global search, so that we can avoid the database query using the older search. So once we have all the entities available in the new enhanced search, so we can probably remove the earlier search, so that it will again have a lot of impact on the performance, which would avoid the load on the database for these particular queries while doing a performance search. And Elasticsearch definitely provides the a greater performance and all the other options like providing information, relevant information, than just list out based on the date or the time lines. So other feature which we have added is the enhance the multi-select option I think this was one of the asks from the community too. So ability to select multiple values from multiple pages. So we have added that in the ticket center, relate tickets and assets to CIs. And then from tools administrator, we did for relating users, group, and organization from either of all the three. Like users, if you go and see from users to associate to groups, so you would have this multi-select option there. From groups, if you want to associate to users, you would have that. Similarly, in the organization, for both groups and users, you would have this functionality available. And even in the standard report, we have the option in case of the on open closed report while you select organization. So you are having organization in multiple pages. So you want to select them. So we have added that in the select organization of the standard report, and also in the select task in case if you are doing all open task report for the standard report. In the asset center, we have also added to the relating asset to asset. In case if you want to relate the asset to multiple assets, we have added that multi-select feature, and similarly in the configuration item. So we also added the other feature, which is one of the top 5 requests from the community, adding attachments while creating the ticket. So that's one of the top rated idea, so which we have picked up and then incorporated. So we have added that feature, adding attachments while creating the ticket. It would be helpful definitely for the self-service user and also to the analyst while creating the ticket. Analyst can also add attachments while creating the ticket. And other one, which is again not top 4, top 5, but it's definitely in the top 10 in the community rated idea, is the ability to send attachments from tickets. I think the great use case was like in case if you're transferring the ticket to any other service provider or any other group which will not have access to this particular system, but still they want to see the tickets and the attachments. You can send an email and also add attachments of which all the attachments in the ticket to that particular email and send it across to the other user, which they would be able to view the ticket and also the attachments. A small improvement and user improvement, I think this is not a feature or something which just to avoid the confusion. We have added this like save and exit buttons are hidden for self-service users. I think this was happening when a couple of people are trying to open that particular ticket. If analyst is working on the ticket on the other side, a self-service user wants to add a work log. So when they're trying to add a work log, instead of there is a submit button in the work log. In case of that, some were suggesting to use the save and save exit, because save and save exit does not just do the work log save, it tries to do the complete ticket save, so which is like locked by the other user. So that was the reason it was giving an error. So just to avoid that confusion, so we're trying to hide that field for the self-service user. So any self-service user would earlier also was only doing the work log updates to the ticket, so he would still continue to do that from the submit button or work log and save and submit button option in the work log page. Any questions till now? I can shift to the demonstration. Let me share my screen. Let me know when you can be able to see the screen.
We can see it.
Okay, thanks, Chris. So one feature I want to go through one by one. Let me start off with the Elasticsearch. So if you want to search on any item on the Elasticsearch, so now you have the option of providing catalog and config item. So in case if I want to search, I just want to give you a hint on what I'm doing. Search, probably we can, I will just do a search on specific item. So it, like this one just gives you the information. So so this is a new tab which we have added, Service Catalog, and then we have an option to shift between users or configuration item. And just to give the perspective, you can select configuration item. So it gives me the telecom circuit commission. So in case if you are looking at this commission is one of the custom attribute in the configuration item. So you would able to do search based on any custom attributes available in the config item. So in case I'm just going to change this to something rebuild upgrade. Just copy this. So if I do search on that instead of commission, rebuild and upgrade, and then do the search. It provides you the updated data. Similarly, what we also done is for the catalog item. So I can do a search on any catalog item. So let me just do a search on beta tracker. So what we have done here is like this is one of the catalog items. So catalog search is a bit different from other searches because for catalog search, why an end user or analyst would search for the catalog is because just to request that particular catalog item. So that's the reason what we have done here. If you see the other results, it would just open up that particular configuration item or the catalog or the knowledge article. So here you would be providing an option to request that particular item so that it will be easy for end users to search a specific catalog item and then request. So this beta tracker, if you see this particular catalog item, this is again beta tracker is available in one of the custom attribute or in some description or in some of the details of that particular catalog item. So you can pick up any word or any attribute, any string in that particular description details or the custom attribute available in that catalog item configuration. You can do the search and then use that for doing the search for requesting an item in the catalog. Same thing for the configuration item. So you're not really looking at the name or something, so you want to look at some custom attribute I've created, for example, location, building one configuration item. So I can add that configuration item plus the building so that it will give me the result of all the information related to that, matching those strings. And also we earlier, remember, we also have this filter option in case if I want to do a filter. Let me do this, help you on understanding this particular one. Let me do the configuration item. Again, just do the rebuild upgrade. Time here. I've connected over the broadband network. If you see here, you can also see this. Some of the tickets of the configuration item is situated in various other locations. So I can filter it out based on the, in case if I want to do Mumbai. So just prior to this, I just want to show you the hit. It shows me 28,973 configuration items available. And then if I do filter on particular location or something, I'll take the one. And then do a filter. Let's clear off this. So you can see the results gets changed. It applies the filter on top of that, and then you see the result set is reduced. So you can add multiple filters and also search to navigate to that particular result. So the faster result. So, and then let me quickly go back to the multi-select feature, which we have added in the release. Let me open up a ticket. Then navigate to the relate asset section. So here you have this list of items. So let me do this telecom 001. Let me go to the second page and then select 16. And I go to third page or the last page and select build system. So you would see that build system and then 001 and 016. So it from multiple pages, it got added to that ticket. Similarly, it's available for the relate ticket section also. So here also you could see it can able to relate incident from here, and then a change from here. So you see I got associated, the change request got added, and an incident got added to this. So that's from the ticket center. We also added in the tools admin. Let me navigate to the tools admin section. So let me go to the organization. So users. So here relate existing is the main users where you have a lot of users available and you want to relate that the users to the system. So you could do just selecting VM voucher here and then basically just to show that creation, making them as employee and then associating that user. So you could say Basali and then Butcher from two different pages. We're able to do that. Same thing is available in the groups and other sections of the system. And the standard report is one another area. So where we are using this particular feature, multi-select feature. All open closed report. So here I'm just selecting test 2 organization and test 8 organization over here. So you would see that test 2 and test 8 organizations which are there here. And show that result. Okay, that selection is possible. Similarly, for the task report, tickets with open task report also have that feature. You can select batch job removal from here, one page, and the network cleanup from the other page. So it would show that results from the multiple pages. So this comes to the multi-select option, which we have added the feature. Let me show you the other options. Let me just log into the system with an end user. We have an option, create request. This is from the end user perspective. While creating a ticket, so what we have added is the attachment section. So we can add a new attachment from here. So we can browse any attachments and then upload that to the ticket. Before saving the ticket, I was able to add the attachment. So what we have also done, let me attach something else. That's one which would show up in the system. So similarly, from the analyst perspective, if we go back to the analyst, required, populating that. And same mail option. So we also added this attachment list. So currently for this particular ticket, it's got 2 attachments available. And then if you see that in the ticket, if you navigate to the attachment section, you would see there are 2 attachments available for this particular ticket. So I could able to send these 2 attachments from the send mail option. I can select multiple of them and select them. So that's about the send mail attachment and the attachment option available in the system. That's most of the features of the enhancements we have added to the system. Let me go back to the roadmap section. So this is what we have planned, and then we're able to get to those features in the timeline. So what we are seeing in the Firefly is like operational improvements, then archival functionality, and then customer ideas of the attaching files to the ticket, and then enhancement to the global search, ability to multi-select features. So, and then what we are also thinking or planning in the next release, which is called Fresh, is mainly the redesign of SLA. Even though we did some of the performance optimization of the SLA engine, but still I think currently also we still use the database for and then stored procedure for doing the SLA calculation, and then so we want to avoid that completely so that we can probably get to the app layer instead of the DB layer for doing the SLA calculation. So that's what we are planning it in the Goldfish, the redesign of the SLA. And then the same analysis productivity improvements. And then we're also thinking about the rich text enhancement. I think one of the other which is highly voted in community. So we don't have rich text option for KD article, and also for the ticket and for description or the details section of the ticket. And one another thing which we are thinking doing a research utility, which would help in knowledge article search or solution search. So I think predominantly it would search only in the system where you have already saved knowledge article for solutions. So I think we are thinking and doing research on like how we can use the web for getting some of the information for that particular ticket related search, or it uses the description or the other information available in the ticket and do a search and get more information You can also populate that information back to the ticket in either as a knowledge article or the solution section of the ticket. So we're doing that. Would be in Goldfish. We would probably get that in the feature list of that. And then a couple of other enhancements related to the workflows, automation workflows, and then notification, other things which we are doing, apart from the regular defect fixing, which we are doing it in the system. So that is more of the roadmap or the planned or the under consideration for the Goldfish, the feature list for the Goldfish. So any questions so far? So we just want to highlight that we're listening to the community. And so you see the features which we have picked up for the Firefly. If you see out of our 4 or 5 features, most of the features are from the community. So the attachment field visible was one of the 4th ranked item in the community, which we have picked up. Similarly, add an attachment to the outgoing is one of the top 10 idea in the community. So, and then the enhancements to global search and multi-select across pages. So these are the other ideas which we have picked up and then come up with the Firefly release. That's about the summary of the release. So we are rolling out in September. Probably staging would be in September, and then we are planning to roll out in the first week of October, similar to what we have done in the past for the Elephant release. We did it in July first week, second week time frame. So we are thinking that would be the ideal time for the rollout of Firefly. Final dates will be definitely posted on the community and send out notification system. So I think most of you guys are already receiving the EMNS communication, our notification system. If not, you can create a support ticket. We can enroll you onto the notification system, on new notification system. And then we are again adhering to the quarterly release. Next release is started already planning. Goldfish would be targeted for December, the rollout, and focus mainly on performance and customer reported defects, and also from the community. So we are listening to community. We can just put your votes on the community. We will pick it up, those features, and then put it in the release. We vote on your ideas and participate in discussions on the community. So that's about this webcast. Any questions so far? I'm able to answer any questions or any comments.
And folks, to ask an audio question, just go ahead and press #6, and that will unmute your line. And of course, we can take questions in the Q&A tab as well. Again, #6 will unmute your line. No questions out there, folks?
No questions yet?
I guess you did a great job of covering everything, Prasanna.
Yeah.
Well, if any questions do come up, go ahead and post them in the discussions in the community, and we'll be sure to get an answer to you. And Prasanna, did you have anything else?
Nothing else, Chris. I just want to thank all the audience and Chris for providing an opportunity to present on this. We will have this deck and this presentation available in the community too. Will be posted in the community and also available in the community too. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, everyone.
Great. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.